All right, good morning and welcome everyone to Everly Hotel Putrajaya for the President's Secretary and Treasurer's Training Seminar. Give a clap. Thank you. Before we begin, may I welcome our District Governor, Teoh and First Lady Kim. I'd like to welcome also incoming District Governor, Dato Bindi Rajasegaran and Dato Rajasegaran, past governors and future governors. Can we give them a hand as well? And of course, the district training team led by the district trainer, Karthi Palanisamy. Current AGs and incoming AGs. And can I request all the incoming presidents to be upstanding? Let's have a look how many we have. We are supposed to have 42 incoming presidents in attendance this morning here live at Putrajaya. Thank you. The incoming secretaries, can they be upstanding? Thank you. Wow, IPDG Leo is also going to be secretary again. And then we have the treasurers. Can the treasurers please be upstanding? Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody.
Latest number that I had was we have 82 in total combination of presidents, secretaries, and treasurers. And that's 125 who are attending. Of course, we have the training team, the secretariat, and we have at the moment 100 attending on Zoom. The past few days, it's been quite tough for the organizers with the sudden increase of COVID and the sudden travel restriction, but we have managed to, despite all that, managed to have a good turnout here live at Putrajaya. Give ourselves a big hand. Okay, to begin with, it gives me great pleasure to welcome everyone here to the President's Treasurer and President, Secretary, and Treasurer's plenary session. Thank you. It seems Murphy has turned up again. So to begin, may I invite our District Governor, Teoh to just say a few words before we begin.
Thank you, MC AG Kamaru. Incoming District Governor, Dato Bindi. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to say a few words. Present, past, and future district leaders, incoming presidents, secretaries, and treasurers, I bid you a very warm welcome to this 2021-22 PST training seminar. This seminar is meant for you. Enjoy yourself. I'm not going to talk so much. I do not want to steal the limelight from the incoming district governor. Now, I'm wearing sunglasses not because I want to be Dato, because this is after my cataract operations. I have no choice. Yeah. So enjoy yourself. Have fun. And most importantly, try to exchange ideas, learn as much as you can. Enter to learn, go forth to serve. With that, thank you.
Thank you, District Governor KS. For our first session this morning, to explain the entire training program in detail, please welcome our district trainer, Karthi Palanisamy, with his presentation, Training the Plan Ahead. Just a brief background on Karthi. He gave me a 1-2-page list of his biodata, but I'll just concise it to one. He's been involved with Rotary, starting with Interact, Rotary, and of course now Rotary for the last 41 years. That's more than my age. Karthi, please take the floor.
More than your age. Governor Teoh, First Lady Kim, incoming Governor Bindi, Dato Rajasegaran, past governors, most important presidents, secretaries, and treasurers, a very good morning. Those are my cheerleaders, and those guys are there for one specific reason. In the event you guys don't clap, these guys there will clap. Come on, guys, show them how to clap. So in training, you also got to bring in your own cheerleaders. So hence, yeah, those guys are there. But you know, I want to start, say from the onset, right? Putting this together wasn't easy. You know, putting together a training session which is live has been pretty much a norm. I think a lot of the other past governors and past trainers can tell you this. Then come last year, March, we started doing things online. And within a few months, a lot of us got quite used to doing things online, right? And then we saw an opportunity of doing this hybrid. And the problem is when coming doing it hybrid is because really we are talking to two audiences, one, you guys here, and 100 over guys back home. And it's been challenging. But it has been a huge learning experience. My next 10-15 minutes, I'm going to take you through, and especially this is for the presidents, secretaries, and treasurers. You play a huge role come 1st of July. You are the leaders that is going to spearhead your club. As club officers, you play a huge role, right? And this message is really to you as the leaders of your club. And, you know, we've heard this last, you know, how difficult this has been. I said earlier, in the manner in which we do training, the manner in which we communicate, the manner in which we engage. I also want to tell you some of the things, and just to give you some lighter note. Yesterday at 10 o'clock, I get a call from a pretty senior rotated. And he said, hey, Karthi, tomorrow, what time is the online session? So I said, you know, it starts at 11 o'clock. Okay. What time is the live session? So I said, 11 o'clock. No, I mean, what time is the online session? I said, 11 o'clock. So, but what time is the live session? I said, 11 o'clock. And, you know, and basically these are senior rotations who keep asking, they think live is a separate time, online is a separate time, right? So then I explain, say, oh, okay. But dinner, you said dinner, but dinner, how to do online? That's when I turned off my phone. So really, I mean, it has been exciting trying to do this, trying to curate this and making this relevant. It's also frustrating when you get calls like that, you know, and I say this because I think as leaders, as presidents, secretaries, and treasurers, you are going to find people asking you those questions, for want of another word, and I probably shouldn't be saying this, but for want of those stupid questions, right? We closed registration on the 20th because we knew it was difficult because we were confined by the rules. We can only accept 110 people here live, right? The police at Putrajaya gave us permission based on that, right? And each room has got a maximum limit. So we can't accept anyone else. So we said 20th is going to be a cutoff date. But the flood of registrations came in on the 22nd and 23rd, right? On the 22nd and 23rd, we've already closed it. So the only hero that, because we closed the registration, no one can go in and register. So everyone was sending emails to Bernard. And Bernard being Bernard, he can never say no, right? So Bernard started accepting everyone. Then after Bernard accepts everyone, he's got to tell Sam that he's accepted them. And that's the most difficult part because she's not going to budge, right? So, the problem is enormous. Then she's got to tell Sam, then Sam's got to tell Mealy, and then the whole group gets, so, I mean, those are the challenges you are going to get, right, in your own club. We had to deal with 85 or 84 clubs like this in the last 2-3 weeks. So while it was exciting and fun, it was pretty challenging now. And I think very much this, right? Business, the question you got to ask yourself as presidents when you take office come 1st of July is this: is it going to be business as usual or not? Right? And amazingly enough, some of the things you'll see as you move from the plenary session and go on to the discussion room sessions, you'll find some of the sessions, they are very, very different, or actually they are different from what we are used to. Normally, at the secretary session, you are only be told how to become a secretary, how to write this, how to write. We decided to change the entire concept. And you will find today at the training, at the President's Secretaries and Training Assembly, and tomorrow at the District Assembly, the topics are different. And it's done only because we started hearing what you wanted. This year's training team, we started work last year, March. And every time we did something, we did a survey and asked and asked and asked. And every single change that we made is based on what you wanted, right? The RI Learning Center has been secretary. You can quite easily go to the RI's Learning Center and pick up all those modules. But what else do you need as president, as secretaries, as treasurers? And that's what we're going to try and attempt to provide you this whole day. As I said, we are so used to doing this. Then we started progressing to just doing online. And then we've gone on now to do hybrid. And that's the challenge. I say this not only because we have gone through this as the training team, as the district secretary and the district, but this is what's going to happen to you, the presidents, as you move on, right, in trying to do this. Tomorrow at the District Training Assembly, we are going to showcase 2 or 3 clubs who have very successfully adopted doing meetings online. And you would assume that only the younger clubs can do this. We're actually going to showcase a club with average age of 56 and 70 years old, adopting online and doing it really, really well. I say 56, 70 because it's the Rotary Club of Malavati, all old buggers. But what they have done very differently is to tell you guys or showcase to you guys, as old as we are, they've made these changes and try going for their meetings, and then you understand if there's a need, you'll do it. So tomorrow, the DTA, you'll have those things. Young clubs coming and telling you how they have adopted online, older clubs coming and seeing how they adopted. So it's pretty challenging. So really, and some of the presidents who've attended your earlier classes, the master class and the pre-pets, know this. That this year's training team under incoming Governor Bindi, our premise is this: that learners become teachers and teachers become learners. Every single facilitator, every single training member is learning while they teach. In every single session, from the time we started pre-pets, the time we started the AGTS, the time we started the master classes, the facilitators we use have been real facilitators. They are not people who have been Rotary for 25 years and they deserve to come and speak. Every single one was used because they represent a club with experience and understanding matters. So every one of us are learning as they teach, and as they teach, they learn. And that's our training premise for the last 1.5 years and moving forward. I think this is something that the incoming governor has always insisted in terms of what your club leadership is, right? First and foremost is about taking lead, right? As presidents, as secretaries, as treasurers, you need to remember that you are going to lead the club, right? And in doing that, you need to understand this. The entire district setup consists right at the top is the president's secretaries and treasurers. And you are really the real change makers. You are going to make the change, right? And you're going to be supported by your assistant governors. And I don't want to say this, and this may be something for future leaders to understand. When Bindi started looking at various people in appointing as assistant governors, she spoke to a number of people. She sent out an email to all Rotary clubs, to the club, the current incoming presidents, telling them that I'm considering your club members for positions in the district. Please send me names of your past presidents who are interested to serve. So we received a number, I think Bindi, we received close to 70 people who are interested to become assistant governors. We sent them a questionnaire. It was maybe 30 questions. Based on that questionnaire is when she selected those 22. So no one got it because no one got their position because they liked because Bindi liked them. She probably did, but they got the position because they deserved it or they were great in answering those questions. Either way, so there was a survey that she sent out asking the 25 questions. Things like, what would you do as an assistant governor? How do you make change? How many members have you brought in the last X number of years while you've been a Rotarian? Basic questions. What would changes? We asked some of these guys, the 70 guys, how many times would you visit your club if you were the assistant governor? Some said 2. The guy who said 2, of course, never got in, right? Some says 14, right? Excellent. So we are monitoring whether this guy actually goes 14 times. But really, it was a survey that was done. The people who got in were based on that, right? So yes, so the entire leadership of the club and the district is going to be determined by this. The presidents, secretaries, and treasurers, you are the top of the hierarchy. You form the district, actually. You're supported by the assistant governors. You've got the chairmen of the respective committees. You've got, of course, the secretary and the training team assisting you. And finally, the lowest person in the entire rung of leadership is actually the governor. Well, she is the servant leader. And this entire premise that, remember this, that her job is to deliver what we wanted to do. So while it is prestigious, it's tiring. So I cannot understand why some of you even want to become vice governors or even want to become governors. So it's not, I mean, look at Teoh. Last week he had an operation. The next day, he's already wearing sunglasses, looking cool like a Chinaman and walking around, going to clubs. And that's what it is, isn't it? And I cannot understand. I mean, Siti and I, you all know Siti and I, how close we are. And I keep telling her, I don't know why you want to do this, right? But when they do, they give 3 years of their life to Rotary. Lux was a governor, 20 years ago? I don't know how long, right? And he's still here. I know Jimmy, since every time I was a road tractor, that was 30 years ago. Some of you who don't know, Jimmy was actually a former road tractor too, right? But they're still here. And Leo, of course, everyone knows, the humblest of the humblest past governors, Leo. I say that because every district function, he brings a bottle of monkey shoulder for me. So I'm compelled to say it. And, Chris can quite easily just enjoy his retirement now. He doesn't really need this, right? So really, it takes a lot for these guys. While it's prestigious, but it's 3 years of your life and more if you want to remain relevant. So I wanted to do this first before we move on and before incoming Governor Bindi comes here and tell you exactly what is planned for you for the next 1 year moving forward. Just a recap of what we have done. And this, probably some of the presidents will remember this, some of the guys who have joined our online sessions, right? We started the President's Masterclass sometime in December, and there were 2 areas that we actually focused on. We did project ideas and we did pitch it right. Project ideas was this, right? We broke up the presidents into various groups, and all these presidents were to go and understand better what the district action group was. And they came presented. So the trainers at the President's Masterclass were the presidents themselves. The only thing the training committee did was help them curate the presentation, got things ready for them. So every single presenter at the president's masterclass was a president, was an incoming president. Then we have got pitch it right, right? We formed 3 different groups, told them to come present your idea to be able to win a global grant. The incoming TRF chair city, I think Leo was in that committee, a few judges then judged each of the presentation in seeing whether they deserve to receive the grant. So we did this to make you understand, number 1, what the action groups were, 2, how do you actually apply for the grant, right? We did this. And from there, we had 8 online sessions. We had 12 presidents per group. And we have 84 presidents getting involved. And this started in October last year. And of course, in the last 1 month or 2 months, we've started promoting the Rotary Learning Center. So every president were told, you need to go into the Learning Center and learn your 11 modules. And we insisted that all those presidents send us back their certificate. Once you finish your Learning Center, you get a certificate and you got to send us back. A month ago, we told the presidents, now go tell your secretaries, your treasurers to also go through the learning modules. I do hope that the presidents, secretaries, and treasurers went through your learning modules now. If you didn't, then that's too bad now. So anyway, just to recap very quickly, right? The president's masterclass, you went through the president's masterclass, you went through pre-pets, and of course the RI Learning Center. So really, what have we learned? And remember, I talked earlier about the survey that we did, and this is what we got back. We started pushing for presidents to respond and tell us what really, was it effective? Did it make sense? Do we need more? And this was some of the done, right? So effectiveness, supposedly we were 89% effective. In terms of content, they were saying that we were 87, and content and delivery of the modules close to 80%. And finally, we asked them, what was one singular word if you encapsulate exactly what this thing was. So some of the positive things we got back was, it helped them build confidence. It helped them build, it was inspiring. It was improved knowledge. The goals and strategy was well developed. So we found it pretty positive, right? So, when you give those kind of messages to your training team, they are motivated. And it became a challenge for us that now, how do we up the ante, right? And that's what we're trying to do in the next 2 days. Today, the presidents, secretaries, and treasurers learning training seminar, and tomorrow the DTA. How do you up the ante and make sure that whatever we teach, whatever we impart, whatever we share has got to be relevant. So what's really in store for you moving forward? And of course, I'm going to give you a snapshot, because incoming Governor Bindi will go into her specifics. And of course, as any governor, and I want to say this, any governor who comes into office will have their pet projects. So you will hear when Bindi speaks later, she's going to talk some of the things that she's passionate about. And most of us, if not all of us, know how passionate she is about mental. Get it? Mental? That probably speaks for herself. And Dato can confirm that her immense liking for that landscape. And she's done some amazing thing the last 6 months preparing. And I'm just worried of the intensity in which she started doing things, and whether this intensity can carry on. But let me just share with you some of the things that her plans, right? She's got the mental health, which is a big, huge initiative that she plans to do. And she will, in a speech subsequently after this, share with you those ideas, right? She's got the Pride of Workmanship Award. Of course, firstly is, of course, the virtual climate conference, which is on 4th of July, the mental health, the Vocational Pride of Workmanship Award, the 4-way test competition, the TRF fundraiser, which is, and all you guys who have time tomorrow, please make sure you move to the TRF room. There's going to be exciting. Some of the things, the manner in which we're going to teach you how to give and why giving changes lives. Then the Rotary Day of Service, and the International Road Track Interact training competition. So the district initiated projects, and I think, and this is an important thing. What can you do with these projects, right? You can adopt it if you want to. You can adapt it, and you can champion it. It's a district initiated idea that we want you to embrace. And you can, like I said, adopt it. But while you do this, make it your own. You need to make this project your own and champion it. And of course, this is something that I just want to show you this slide because Bindi is going to talk about this in detail exactly in the next 2 slides, what exactly her plans are, the presidential goals and what are the service projects, and she will dive in right into what it has to be done. So really, I've given you an overall big picture. Subsequently, languages, incoming Governor Bindi is going to dial in and tell you exactly the kind of support she needs for each of these things. And then we have a forum, an interesting forum, before we go into the discussion rooms after lunch. And that's where we want to be able to share with you exactly where each one of you play a role. So really, we are now at crossroads of things. It's not easy managing this. The only way we can do this great is if we do this together. Governor Teoh, incoming Governor Bindi, fellow Rotarians, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Karthi, for your very detailed and concise explanation. It now gives me great pleasure to invite the lady herself, our incoming district governor, Dato Bindi Rajasegaran, to deliver her keynote address, Leading Your Club.
So, thank you. Okay, just let me start. Okay, good morning, everyone. And it's nice to see all the familiar masks here this morning. Governor K.S. Teoh, First Lady Kim, thank you for giving me this honor with your presence. I'm really honored to have both of you here. Past governors, incoming governors, assistant governors, current and incoming presidents, current and incoming treasurers, current and incoming, and all my fellow Rotarians. A very, very good morning to all of you. Now, I thank you all for your presence here today, physically and virtual. Now, we begin our mandatory training for our district training assembly with this presidents, secretaries, and treasurers training seminar. This is a requirement by Rotary International, and the purpose is to provide additional knowledge and the vision of our incoming RI President, Shekhar Mehta, to enable all of you to take your responsibilities with more confidence in the coming Rotary year. This weekend has been put together by the training team, the district secretariat, the members of the Rotary Club of Greentown, and Rotarians from other clubs. And they have accepted the call to assist, and it has been orchestrated by none other than our district trainer, Karthi, and our district secretary for district events, Samantha. However, each member of the team are equally important, and this is all about teamwork. There are just too many names to mention at this point of time, but I extend my humble gratitude to all of you. Now, this morning, I'm going to start off by speaking on the topic of leading your club. For any leader to lead, you must first understand what is your organization, who you represent. And when I speak of leaders, I speak of all of you Rotarians, the presidents, the secretaries, and the treasurers. No president can work alone, and you are stronger as a team. Now, what do we stand for? Who are we? I know these are very obvious questions, but it's very essential to understand from Rotary International's perspective. And let's start with the mission statement. Now, mission statement is all about who we are and what we value. What is dear to us? What is our ultimate mission? All of you are very familiar with Rotary International's mission. What do? We provide service. What do we value? We value integrity, world understanding, goodwill. And who are we? We are business leaders, professional leaders, and community leaders. So that is what makes up our Rotary International mission statement. Now, for every journey, you need a start before you can finish. You need a plan to begin with, and only then it will lead you to the finishing line. You need to begin with the end in mind. So you need to understand what is your personal mission statement. What is it that will provide meaning, purpose, and direction in your tenure? And I'm not talking about specifics here. I'm talking about general statement and overall objective. The first main step in writing your personal mission statement will be to imagine exactly who you want to become, examine the qualities you want to obtain, the relationships you want to have, and the way of life you want to live. So what is your mission statement? It could be as simple as, I want the world to be a better place because I was here. You must be clear in your mind, what is it you want to do? Service to humanity, that's a mission. Creating peace, that's a mission. And remember, 30th June will be there before you know it. How do you want to be remembered at the end of your term? We can guide you and lead you, but it is you and you alone that can ensure all of us reach the finishing line. So my friends, let's go on now to the vision statement of Rotary International. And this is all about what we want to become. What is it you want to achieve at the end of your tenure? And this is where we go into specifics. Rotary International vision statement is all about who, what, why, and where. Who? You want the people united. What do? You want them to take action. And why? To create lasting change. And where? Across the globe, in communities, and in ourselves. So friends, let's go on to what is our vision. Every year, we receive a new direction from Rotary International, and at the International Assembly, we were all informed of this direction, and it's my duty now to convey this message to all of you. And it is with this vision that you need to set the direction of your plans. every reality begins with a dream. So dream big. There are no limitations to how much you can achieve except the limits you put on yourself. You know, there was this African man, or African boy rather, who was inflicted by polio since childhood, and he had one dream. He had a dream to be a musician, not just any ordinary musician, but a very good one and a very famous one at that. Now his path crossed with another similar gentleman in a similar condition, afflicted by polio and with similar passion in music. So these two, together with another three, formed a band, and they named themselves Look Beyond Appearances. They began playing locally, and eventually their passion and drive earned them the opportunity to make an album. They faced multiple rejections to play at music festivals. And finally, they were accepted at a music festival in France, and the rest is history. Since then, they have played at 450 concerts in over 30 countries. And the moral of story is every success story starts with a dream. Now grow more, do more, and may I add, achieve more. You must instill in yourself the growth mindset, and you need to take the lead. Leading is investing. You can lead others by investing in them. Help them to learn to do better by having the skills and confidence to do better. If everyone waits for someone else to lead, no one will dance. So rather than wait for someone in your club to do something, you need to take the lead. It's leadership by example. It should not be up to only a few in the club to take the lead. Instead of looking to others to form a path or clear the jungle ahead, why not see it and own it and do it? And do something about it. Be it increasing membership or doing meaningful projects. It all starts with you to serve to change lives. And this is the theme for the next Rotary year. Now, how is it that you're going to achieve? What are you going to do to achieve your vision? You need a plan. How each of you are going to achieve your vision? You need to look inward first before you look outward. So let's begin. First, you need to be proactive and you need to prioritize. Ask yourself, are your actions based upon self-chosen values or upon your mood and circumstances? Very often we are overcome with our emotional feelings and we make the wrong decisions. So you need to be proactive, put first things first, and my friends, plan in advance. If you follow these habits, it can create a huge impact in your life. You either act or be acted upon. Now you need to think win-win. Ask yourself, do you seek mutual benefits in all that your club does? Do you faithfully reflect your understanding of the other person before seeking to be understood? And you must work with mutual benefits. Synergize. Now this word, I'm sure all of you would have noticed, it's very, very much in use now. You have got synergy Zoom meetings, synergy groups, synergy this and that. And it serves its purpose. So do give some attention to synergize. Do you value different opinions, viewpoints, and perspective of others when seeking solutions? Now, my friends, every opinion counts. Listen to each person. Respect their views, though you may not agree, but the other person believes in it. So respective, even if you don't agree, and give your viewpoint and make the other person understand. And I can tell you what happened just 2 days ago. I made a decision related to this DTA based on my understanding. And the team thought otherwise. And their understanding was totally different. I stood by my grounds and I said, it's my decision. And later I received a long WhatsApp giving a thorough explanation of their viewpoint. And I could then understand their viewpoint, which weighed more than my understanding. And I changed my decision and accepted their proposal. There is no right, there is no wrong. It just depends how you weigh it and which is the most important. So there is nothing that cannot be settled without talking it through and making the other person understand. And that way you take everyone together. Now, my friends, you must also ask yourself whether you are engaged in continuous improvement in the physical, mental, spiritual, social, and emotional dimensions in your Rotary life, not only in yourself, but also of your members. This is where you need to look after not only yourself, but all your members and everyone else. Once your members are okay, happy, settled, only then you can serve better. So put your house in order. Yeah. So now, since your house is already in order, let's look outward. What are our goals and objectives, and how do we gauge our degree of success? Now, I'll start with the presidential goals. Incoming RI president has also set certain specific goals which he would like every district to achieve. And when I say district, it means you, it means the clubs, it means all the members. Firstly, it's membership. President Shekhar has this huge dream of breaking the 1.2 million mark to reach 1.3 million. And knowing him, he will do it. He dreams big and he has the tenacity and the will to achieve his dreams. Each one is supposed to bring one. So please remember that catchphrase. You have to promote this within your clubs and all the members. Now, each district is also expected to add a minimum of 2 new clubs. And thanks to the current momentum led by our Governor Teoh, I think this should not be a problem. It will be easily achieved. Yeah. Now, next is under service. And particularly in the area of empowering girls. Even in this day and age, you still find discrimination against a girl child. So thus this proposal of looking into projects in empowering girls. And RI President Shekhar Mehta has also requested every club to do a Rotary Day of Service. These details I've shared with all the presidents and the assistant governors, and we will talk about it in detail later. And going on, it's the Polio Plus goal set by Rotary International. And every club is expected and encouraged to donate at least 1,500 per club. I will speak about this in detail at the DTA tomorrow in my address. And let's go on to our local goals. Now, having listened to RI President's theme, vision, and goals, I have discussed with our respective chairmen and come up with the following district goals and projects around which you can plan your year in service. I will very briefly go through it. First of all, membership. Now, I would like to see a net gain of 2 members per club, irrespective of size. So it does not matter how big your club is or how small. Let's set a target of net gain of 2 members per club. Now, I would also like to emphasize on retention and engagement strategies. I've discussed this in detail with our incoming membership chair, and he will inform all the clubs of the proposals that we have decided. Now, this is not a tall order of our membership goals. So members, please, presidents, please keep this in mind. And we are a membership organization. Service is just a byproduct of our membership. Without guests, there's no party, and without Rotarians, there is no Rotary. And membership is the only constant in Rotary, and everything else can change. Everything else is variable. Now let's go on to public image. Public image is an area we need to address and promote. It's an integral part of Rotary. We need to emphasize public image in everything that you do. The impact, the reach, the engagement, these are all important elements of any PI promotion. And I'm sure some of you would have read the latest email from RI. It is a joint statement by the current RI President, Holger Connect, and the incoming RI President, Shekhar Mehta, on the usage of our Rotary logos. There is only one Rotary logo. There is only one Rotaract logo, and there is only one Interact logo. You are only allowed to use those logos, and you have been requested to go to Brand Center to download all those logos, because the font, the color, the size matters. So friends, do not design your own club logos or Rotary logos or Interact logos. Use what you are required to use. Now going on to service projects, I have one whole slide on this next. I will talk about this a bit later. Now our Yayasan, we need to support our Yayasan. And I've put a very modest target of 200,000 minimum. And please be informed that we are moving away from district grants under TRF. So very unlikely that we will continue with district grants in the next Rotary year. And we are moving away from that into service projects in partnership with Yayasan. Now the Rotary Foundation, annual giving 300,000, Polio Plus target of 50,000, and endowment 50,000. Now we have already received a pledge of 50,000 for annual giving and 25,000 for endowment from none other than IPDG Leo. Thank you, PDG Leo. And he has also said he will consider giving more. So I have to be very nice to him. So, but you must understand, how does an organization become relevant? Rotary becomes relevant because we can serve. And that is because of our foundation. We have an obligation to support our foundation. You make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give. So let's go on to the service projects. These are district initiated service projects, starting with the climate conference, Sustainable Actions Climate Conference on the 4th of July. Now, as you all know, the 7th area of focus, environment, is going to become officially the 7th area of focus on 1st of July. So we thought it best to commemorate this with an international climate conference. And this team has been working so hard. It's a joint effort by Rotary, Rotaract, Interact, and the District Action Group on environment sustainability. So they are going to launch it tomorrow during the DTA. So please look out for it because there are very, very interesting programs coming up. Now, the unique thing about this conference is not just a one-off conference. We are releasing a manifesto, and I would like all clubs to adapt this manifesto throughout the next Rotary year. It is a very simple manifesto in what you can do in your homes, your office, in your communities, and so on. So it's all there. And may I add that I am going green next year. I do not want to see any single-use plastics in any Rotary event. Before we preach, we must practice. Yeah. So let's take these small steps before we can make a difference. Only when we do this, we can make a difference, right? So going on, mental health, as you just heard from the insane district trainer. Yes, this subject has not been thought of in the past couple of months. It has been something on my mind for many years now because my club, Rotary Club of Greentown, we have been working very closely with Hospital Bahagia for many years now. So being up close and personal with this subject, the more we got involved, the more we saw the need. And I promised my club that if ever I take office, I will take this to the national level, has a national agenda. So I'm keeping to my promise. This committee, I'm amazed at this, guys. This is not a short-term project. It is a very, very long-term project because only then you can see the results. You cannot see the results by having a seminar for teachers or counseling school children. It doesn't work that day. It has to be a wholesome agenda towards this issue. And we have got almost all the ministries as our strategic partners, including WHO, UNICEF, UNHCR, and IOM. And they are our advisors. And I'm really humbled by how hard the work the District Action Group Rotarians are working on this. We have set up so many task force and they're so passionate in each task force and everyone is doing extremely great work. And I'm pleased to announce that this will be officially launched tomorrow at the DTA. So do look out for that. Okay, let's go on to the vocational. This is a district initiated project, taking a cue from the KTMB project and the PI and the impact of that project. I had proposed that we do this district initiated project, and we are looking into the field of recognizing the profession in the police force. Now, why the police force? They have been in our country for over 200 years. This organization is a very old and established organization. There are many, many fallen heroes. Many of our young ones do not understand the history of this great force. So let's recognize them. Going on is the Rotary Day of Service. This is an RI initiative where clubs are required to do a Rotary Day of Service. However, I've requested our committee, District Community Service Committee, to initiate a district-wide Rotary Day of Service. So we all come together on one day to do this. And they too have some very exciting plans planned. Now, international service, I'm thinking of humanitarian missions. This is also another passion of mine. As you know, in my history, I've always gone for humanitarian missions. And I've seen how worthwhile it is to go on this. I know at this point of time, it's unimaginable to even take a flight out, but let's be positive. Let's look forward. RI President Shekhar Mehta has announced 7 presidential conferences around the world. So I have picked 3, one in Taiwan, one in Philippines, in Manila, and one in Hyderabad in India. So while we go for the presidential conference, which is only 2 days, let's stay back for another 3 days to do a humanitarian mission. And this is where the sister clubs, all of you with sister clubs, come into play. And I would like those clubs who have sister clubs in Korea, India, especially in Hyderabad and Manila, to come forward to organize this mission for us. In Korea, we are planning to do something in peace because my classmate there is setting up a peace park. So probably maybe a token from the children of Malaysia is just an idea. All of you can come up with more ideas, a gift to them from us or something. In Manila, we can do anything, water, sanitation, environment, anything is suggested. And in India, we are looking more towards empowering girls. So, and this is something I've spoken to the awards committee, and we are suggesting a Rotary Malaysia Humanitarian Heroes Award. It is about awarding unsung heroes in the community that have done exceptional work towards humanity and remain unrecognized. So my friends, synergy is better than my way or your way. It's our way. And I end with words from Jonathan Lockwood, and I've replaced the word I with we. We act with bold courage, taking inspiration from the powerful vision of our future. We boldly set sail with courage and intent. We hold our course with focused attention and relentless commitment as we weather the storms of life. Thank you.
Thank you, incoming District Governor Bindi, for your inspirational address.
Thank you.
I am sure your incoming club officers are all eager and inspired to begin their journey with you.
The teenage years can be full of excitement, opportunities, and newfound freedoms. Yet they can also be times fraught with worry about exams, relationships, and keeping up with peers and the latest trends. For some, this burden can become so overwhelming they take their own lives. Suicide is never the answer. There's always hope. If you're a school principal, put a plan in place for helping students and teachers to stay mentally healthy. Organize training for staff on what signs to look out for and how to have sensitive and compassionate conversations. Create a safe school environment where students and staff know they can seek help and talk to someone if they need to. A few words can make a world of difference.
Behind every successful governor is a team of dedicated Rotarians. To assist Governor Bindi with her duties and clubs in general, I'd like to introduce to you past Assistant Governor J. Henry from the Rotary Club of Ipoh South, and past Assistant Governor Jaya from the Rotary Club of Teluk Intan.
For what?
Good morning, everybody. I'm introducing this district secretariat with Secretary Henry.
As Jaya from RC Teluk Intan.
And we are your support team and Ms. Henry will take up from here.
Okay, I'll just run through with you all the secretary support team. We have a contact point. You can able to contact us. You can contact us via phone, WhatsApp, email, whichever you feel convenient, just contact us. And your first contact point, especially for presidents and the clubs, is your AG, your group AG. Move to them first, then your secretary team, and move on to your governor.
To introduce our district secretariat, I first would like to bring in District General Secretary for Communications, Mr. Moorthy from the Rotary Club of Greentown.
District Finance Chair, Arvind from the Rotary Club of Banda Sungai Petani.
District Secretary, Club Affairs and Assistant Governor, yours truly, Jaya Rotary Club of Teoh.
Next, me. I was taking care of the calendar, District Secretary for Governor's Calendar, Governor's Newsletter, District Handbook. It's me from Rotary Club for Ipoh South Greece.
District Secretary for Rotary Citation and IT Support, Bernard from Rotary Club of Banda Sungai Petani.
Next, other than everybody knows her, District Secretary for District Events and Public Image, Samantha from Rotary Club of Mount Kiara Gateway.
District Secretary, Youth Affairs, Arthur from Rotary Club of Kinta.
District Secretary, Disaster Relief, Rita from Rotary Club of Greentown.
District Secretary, Service Committees and Action Groups, Anil from Rotary Club of Greentown.
We are here, your support team. Just reach us, 9 of us in the team, reach us anytime. We will able to help you all as much as possible to contact us.
Before I go to the governor's checklist or the e-handbook, I would like to first appreciate all my 22 AGs and my 86 presidents who have actually come forward to assist me in gathering information for the e-handbook. So far, 80 of the presidents have given me their information, only left with 5 or 6 more. And the 6 satellite club chairs have also promised to give it by the end of this year, this month. So I hope that all of you will take the initiative and get all the information in order so that Henry here can have the e-handbook ready by the 1st of July. As for the AG secretariats, they will have to be encouraging the presidents to do their citations, which will be due by March. And I would not go more into this because Bernard will take you step by step into this on citation. As for e-roses, please remember, presidents, you must make sure that your secretary files all her board of directors, incoming board of directors and audited accounts to e-rose after 60 days after your AGM. This is compulsory, okay? Presidents, please take note. As for my Rotary and Rotary Club Central, Bernard will again go through with it slowly during your training. But what I would like to stress to the presidents is that my Rotary is a very sensitive line. So you must remember your emails, your password, and your security code. In case you forget your password, they will ask for that when you want to change. So remember this when you sign in for my Rotary. And I know many of you had a lot of hiccups doing your learning program, but you can still do it if you have not done. And if you need any help, you can always come down to Teoh Intan over a plate of chichong fan and we can guide you through it. Okay, next. This is the most important checklist for the governor's visit. I hope all presidents have got it from your AGs. If your AGs have not sent you this checklist, then they are in trouble. So please revert to me if they haven't. Because this checklist, according to my student days, was like a law in a nutshell. You know, we used to have these books called Law in a Nutshell, and we used to all memorize it. So this checklist is actually Rotary in a nutshell, what the presidents should do during their year of service. So the most important is that the treasurers have the audited accounts and income tax proof of submission ready for submission and given to the secretaries. The secretary to have her board of directors and e-roses done. I would not go through the whole list. I'll just give the salient points. The club strategic plan is very important for all the board of directors. For it is membership, projects. You need to have your budgeting, everything done and in place. So what I would suggest is after all this training, you should go back, call for a board meeting, sit and plan out your checklist, have your dates all fixed. It's actually already been given. And you should guide your board members to drop all these plans. So come 1st of July, you're ready to take office. The most important here is that within 14 days of before 14 days of your director's DG's visit, the AGs will call into your clubs. So AGs, please take note. Remind your presidents to give you all the report so that when you come with the reports and you can inform the DG 10 days before her visit. As far as the checklist is concerned, there are a lot of pivotal changes made by DG in respect of club visits. She would like to spend more time with the club members, president, secretary, and treasurers, and the club members. And she would like to have an intercity at the end of the group visits. And as far as the interactors are concerned, she would like to have the group interact clubs met together. Because this is actually a good idea, because it enhances their platform and everybody can share ideas and work on it together. And same to the intercity with all the clubs in the group. So with all these pivotal changes that DG is about to make, we could consider this as a reformacy now. So take note, presidents, be ready, and you'll be blessed at the end of your journey when you fulfill all your achievements. Thank you.
Next, I move on to my portfolio, which is taking care of the district handbook. So far, quite a number of clubs has already given. Thank you very much. Yet there's few more clubs and also the district officers yet to submit. Please do so by end of this month. I really need your assistance. And then your district directly will be regularly updated at least once a month, provided there's any updates. Next, on governor's newsletter, just pay little attention on this for presidents, especially presidents. The whole exercise of this governor's newsletter is to drive everyone to read the newsletter. That's the whole agenda is all about. So to make it interesting, what we are doing is we need news from your club or any district events when you're involved from the club or the district by the 15th of every month. Please take note, 15th of every month. If you don't receive by then it's very difficult for the team. The team comprised of 11 of them handling the entire governor's newsletter. And everyone has some portfolios to handle. Whether it's going to be installation, club projects, any events, take maximum of good shots, like at least 3 photographs with 30 to 50 words and send it to your coordinators. Here we have a number of coordinators right from the north, central and south who are coordinating with the AGs together with the presidents to get the news and also the photograph and other coordination. They already started to coordinate with the presidents and also the AGs. Please assist them. We really need them to assist them. And with that, whenever you send any news, please forward to me as a CC copy beside your coordinator and also to Devika from Rotary Club of Subang. And the newsletter will be published first of every month with 12 in total 12 issues. And it also will be made available online. Next, on governor's calendar, dates, especially there's few dates have been fixed by the governor and me together, which I work with the governor. One of it is your visit, governor visit is already been prefixed. And together with the governor's visit, at the end of it, there will be combination of some group intercities and also interest clubs together with their groups will meet together. That is how the governor wants to make it during her year. Coming to the calendar, we have later I'll show you all this sample of this governor's calendar. It is updated regularly and also is made available the district and also in online, district portal and online. So if you wish the governor to attend any of the events, I'll show you all a form. It only takes hardly 30 seconds to complete it. Okay, this is a sample of the governor's calendar per month. So if you can see all those color codes there. For a governor visit, this is light blue, and installation is in brown color, and so on. So what you need to do is just contact me. I'm available, but your first contact point, always remember, President, is your AG. Please contact your AG. So whatever the information the secretariat team is passing on is through your AG. So AG is your contact point. Until unless we can't get them, if you're not reaching them, please put forward. You may contact me or WhatsApp to me. I will definitely assist you. Okay, this is how you fill it up. A simple online form for you to submit to the district secretariat team whenever there's any event. Okay, when there's any events, so just fill it up this information. Hardly takes 30 seconds to complete. Your club name, just select your club name, your contact person, contact number, and then select what is the events you're talking about, which your governor, you want your governors to come. So just do a picking up selection and then give a little bit of description of the information and then pick up the date, time. That's it, done. Click the submit button, done with it. Okay, the last part of it is your resources. Okay, remember that Rotary Center, there's Patricia from the Rotary, our district office. You can able to reach her if you need any information like induction kits, flags, any materials from the Rotary, you need a support. And if you want to rent out the meeting room, do contact her. The numbers are all available in the district directory. Next, the brand center, all designs pertaining to the templates, logo, materials, brochures, blah, blah. It's all available in the brand centers. If you need any assistance, you can always contact the PI team or us. We can able to assist you all as well. Okay, now time for questions. Anyone got any questions? You may raise up your hand and ask a question. We'll try to answer as much as possible.
Okay, then. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
With that, thank you.
Thank you, Henry and Jaya, on your detailed explanation on the workings of this year's district secretariat team and how they might be able to help clubs. We now come to our last session before we break for lunch. Shh. It's not that I'm not fasting. Shh. Let's not sweep it under the carpet. That is caused by none other than Waran from Rotary Club of Seremban, Rotarian Mahad from Rotary Club of Kampung Baru, Ashwin from Mount Kiara Gateway, and of course, Karthi from Central Damansara. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone, both joining us here live and online from comforts of your own home. So this is a very interesting topic just before we break for lunch. It's called Shh, let's not sweep it under the carpet. Now we're dealing with issues that we may have ignored in Rotary, or certain questions that were considered too taboo to talk about. We decided to open it to everyone, where you could send in your questions prior to our session, and we will try our best to address these issues and maybe bring it out to the open for the public to know about. And it was very important for us to do this. And the people we selected, as you can see, vary in age, experience, and the type of Rotary clubs that we come from. I come from what is considered a very young club. And I consider myself a very young Rotarian in experience as well, age 2, right? I have Waran with me from one of the oldest clubs in our district, the Rotary Club of Seremban. Mahad, who's a foreigner who's been in Malaysia long enough to understand a few Tamil and Malay words, from the Rotary Club of Kampung Baru City Centre, and a man who's got a lot of past titles, such as past president, past assistant governor, but I'm not sure if he ever passed his SPM. Of course, district trainer, Karthi, who brings 4 years of Interact experience, 10 years of Rotary experience, and 26 years of Rotary experience. So ladies and gentlemen, we are going to deal with topics that are less spoke about, and hopefully we can give some clarification today on those issues. So the first question that was sent in, and I think we should address, and it's quite an apt time to address this as well, was that certain rumors has it that the next year's conference and awards nights is organized in a non-halal restaurant. Now this means that we may not be including certain members of Rotary of the Muslim faith because we're organizing it in a non-halal place. Now, first person I would just like to get a view on is from Mahad. As a Muslim member of our panel today, what is your take on Rotary organizing events in a non-halal place?
Thank you, Ash, for the question. Good afternoon, everyone. So what I think is, it's important to kind of, let everyone feel included. So yes, of course, we can always, organize in various venues and explore and all that. But what I believe is, it's all about, being felt that, you're included in the district activities, projects. And so if I were to go for events such as this one, I would feel left out, quite honestly. Although sometimes, of course we would go and we would participate, but, and sit in a corner. But I think what would really help is if we cater for, the Muslim friends, maybe, we have a halal section where they could basically, get their dinner and all of that. So I think that shouldn't be a problem, as long as, we make some adjustments and include everybody.
I want to dial in. If I'm a Hindu and practicing one, I will get offended if I come to a Rotary function and beef is being served, right? And I think while you are trying to be moderate in your view, or trying to be inclusive, and I think I have very strong views for certain things. When it comes to having a Rotary function in a non-halal restaurant, my personal view, it's a no-no, right? I mean, from the time I joined Rotary 26 years ago, we've been talking about attracting Malays or Muslims into Rotary, right? It's not about having a halal table, but it's about having an event in a non-halal restaurant. A lot of Muslims who happen to be Rotarians, in my view, I think they're very progressive, or you would say a bit moderate. So they accommodate. And really, life isn't about accommodating.
Yeah,
It's about being inclusive.
Karthi, when you say accommodating, what do you mean by accommodating? See, like for instance, we in Seremban, we did pre-pets. It was in a Chinese setup, Chinese restaurant. But then what we did was, we did something very different. We catered food from a halal caterer. That means the cutleries, everything came from this halal caterer, and a table was set right in the center. Everything was halal. Table, the cutleries, plates, and the food. So the Muslims who were there were very excited and comfortable eating amidst of the rest of them who were eating an pork-free meal also. So accommodating means what? It depends on, we are Malaysians, we have been here for a very long time. We know how to accommodate people, especially Muslims. So what do you mean by accommodating? Are you comfortable if we were to do that?
I'm not too sure. I'm not. Yeah,
It needs to be at that district level, yeah, because
Well,
we're talking district.
Yeah, similarly, as a Hindu, if I come to a buffet line and if the tail end of the buffet line, there's beef put separately and it's tagged and said beef, I'm still not comfortable now.
Okay.
No, I'm not okay.
You're not okay.
I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with it because
You're
when
hardly okay with anything. But
yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's true too. But that's true too. But it's this, right? I paid $155 to attend this training assembly. So my $155 actually included paying for the beef.
But you see,
Really, it is. It is.
No.
It is, right? Because it's alternative. So why can't you serve fish or chicken?
okay, now if you were to say that, now those fellas, the Muslims here, actually paid pretty much the same amount that we paid. They are puasa, they are not going to eat,
Yeah.
How about that then?
So how
Yeah,
are we
yeah,
addressing
that's
that?
true, that's true. That's
So
true.
on behalf of incoming Governor Bindi, I'd like to thank the Muslim Rotarians who's paying for some of our food. No, but it's a true question now. And it is because we had calls who asked this and hey, we are fasting. Why should we pay? And it's a logical question. So we met at the hotel and asked the hotel. Hotel says that that's how we charge. They've got seminars going on here for 140 ringgit they charge and no food being served at all. But what we did is we negotiated with the hotel to say that all those Muslim Rotarians who attend tomorrow's DTA gets to attend the Buka Puasa downstairs at the restaurant, which is $80.
And I think
So
that's
it's finding the balance lah.
Yep.
and striking the balance, if I may.
I think
That's
that's
the best word. Striking the balance. Now we are all Malaysians. We have been living here for a very long time. At least myself and Karthi also. But what I'm saying is, we know how to respect each other, right? Especially other religions. And if you are mindful in doing that, I think in a Chinese restaurant, no issues for me.
But I think, yeah, definitely the key takeaway should be finding that balance. I feel the word accommodating is a bit
Yes.
offensive in certain times.
Yeah.
because-
No, I think, yeah, it's
Yeah.
striking that balance. And also, like what you said, I agree with you. The event that you mentioned, if there is such a, if you can have halal food catered for our Muslim friends, then I think that shouldn't be a problem. But as well, how long some of our friends will be thinking also, do we have to have every district event at a halal restaurant? So you have to also think of that as well. So striking a balance is very important.
Yeah, but the main, we've been trying to be attractive to the Muslim Malays. Is this attractive?
To me, in a way, yes. To me, because look at this event, right? Even though, it was held during Ramadan, we tried our best. Being part of the organizing committee.
We did this the month of Puasa just to test your faith, brother.
Yeah, okay. So, but one thing is that, there was sahur provided. We made sure that, at least, we're trying to accommodate as much as we can.
If I may,
This is because being inside and part of the organizing committee, I can see what the district is trying to do.
yeah, gentlemen, I went for a Buka Puasa session just 2 days ago. It was all Malays, and we had one VIP table. We had 4 or 5 Indians, Hindus, and out of that, one was the Ayer. Okay, he was with his tonchang and besti and whatnot. and he's a vegetarian. The meal, dough, non-veg. But guess what? These Malay organizers, they actually tap out a veg. So, and they told this, they went to a vegetarian Indian shop to tap out, and it was served. And that was so pleasant. If I'm him, I would be honored. I would say, like, you know, you respect me. Likewise, if we are doing it in a non-halal setup, but you cater food from outside, I think that honor is a big thing. That's how I see it.
Detail matters, right? Considering everyone who's in attendance, not just the majority, but the minority as well. And that is what Rotary is about, right? Being considerate in that sense, not just accommodating.
Yes.
So I think with that, yeah.
So
perfect.
Ash, so just to add on,
Yeah.
so the danger is when you do an event at a venue and then you don't actually consider, you don't even try to accommodate. Yeah, so that is the thing. But if we are approaching it this way, then I think it's fine. If you're trying to accommodate.
So I mean, I just want to. It is of course trying to make the best situation out of it. In your Sramban incident seemed to be the best thing, which was number one, we have it in a non-halal restaurant, but it's not about just giving the Muslims one meal. Those guys in the next table who paid $120 get a 7-course meal. I'm a Muslim sitting here, give me a 7-course meal too.
Yep.
One, not just giving them a pack and say, here, eat your biryani, you're done. Right? That's one. Two, the entire cutlery must come from a halal restaurant.
Yep.
Right? Because, you know, so finding a balance, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, you know, cutleries, if you use it in a non-halal setup, they need to wash it with 7 different sand and all this stuff. That's a long time. So bring it, cater from a halal place and get done with it.
So yes, I think, gentlemen, we can agree that the answer to that question that was sent in, I think it's finding that balance and definitely considerate, not just accommodating, right? So moving on, we received a second question that we thought was quite interesting as well. And we thought we definitely want to discuss this. Some of you may need to help us out with this as well. But someone sent in a question and said that in the budget, they noticed it's estimated for 48,000 a year that will be spent to maintain staff at the Rotary Center. What is the actual use of the staff? What are their responsibilities? And why does it come up to 48,000 a year to maintain staff at the Rotary Center?
So you're talking about what?
What are their responsibilities?
So you're talking about 4,000 per month.
That, if my maths is right, on my calculator on my phone. Yes.
And I think it's okay for, okay, let's see what do they do, this person, right? He or she, induction kit,
Yep.
they pass it on to the clubs who need it, and
Rotary Center bookings.
Rotary Center booking, and what else?
Can you think of anything else? Mahad, what has been your experience with the staff at Rotary Center?
Honestly, not much, but I mean, I guess the role is to, take care of the, venue and bookings and all that. That's my knowledge. But then I don't know if they also do help with, organizing things with the district and all. So I would like to know more actually.
Yeah, so Dato, do they fall under district responsibilities as well?
No, I think first and foremost, the 48,000 is for the entire budget of the district, right? I may be wrong, but I think the salary for the staff is 3,000.
Okay.
Right? I think the question to ask is the person being paid $3,000, is there, number one, enough work for her? And also having something drawn out. I mean, I think she or he must be involved in a lot of Rotary activities.
So
right?
does that
Every
include
district project.
district events?
Yeah, district events, but but we don't see the person now. So therein lies the question, I suppose.
Yeah, true, Karthi. But then, is this what in her or his JD, job description? I mean,
Was it made clear?
Yeah, was it made clear or just, I don't know. I'm just throwing in the question.
So I think we need to take into account that this needs to be spelt more clearly to Rotarians, as this is money from Rotarians itself. And therein lies the challenge of putting this clearly up front, that this is that person's responsibility and at what level should they be involved, right?
Sure,
Yeah.
but none of us could provide a
a clear.
a clear thing. So I don't know whether there's someone in Zoom who want to dial in and give us their view, or someone from here on the floor. I mean, there are floor mics here. If you want to
Yes.
share a view.
Can we get?
Oh, okay.
Sure.
So if we just past Governor City, well, if past Governor Paul is here, then maybe he can answer it. But I also want to reiterate this. The only person who had access to all these questions was Ash. None of the answers given here has been curated. One of the things we insisted from the onset is questions go to Ash. He decides, chooses 5 questions or 6 to discuss. None of us are preempted on what to discuss about. So hence, some of us, we don't have the answer. So when you don't have the answer, then maybe someone
We
from the
can call
floor
on-
can help us.
yes.
I don't know whether Bernard can tell us whether past Governor Paul is here to help us assist to answer that.
I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. You want me to answer the question?
Is past Governor Paul?
Yes, I'm here.
You are in?
You can't hear me.
Oh, yeah. I think a bit.
Can you hear me?
Once again, when you have diversity of views, sometimes you also have no views from us. So this is the problem.
Are we able to hear Paul?
Can you hear me? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes.
You can hear me, yeah?
Yeah.
I think the what do you call, the picture that we need to paint is one that in fact I am supposed to launch the center together with the portal and all that. Now the thing is that as the district moves forward, we need to move forward in tandem with the technology. And so that's the reason why we had to come in to acquire a district portal, all right? And when we acquired the district portal, there are a lot of things that we could use. Some of you, this is very new, so a lot of you may not even know that you can use all that. You can actually put your, what do you call, your newsletter inside there. So many things. I think maybe Karthi can also provide you a lot of information on that. But fundamentally, remember this, the whole setup of moving this forward is to try and bring the district to a next level. And when we do this, we would have to have a full-time staff. And you can't employ a staff for $500, $1,000 or $2,000. So the staff salary is about 3,000 plus what do you call, bonus plus whatever you add it, it's about 4,000 or so, EPF, SOXO, and so on. So this is the thing that is being spent on the staff. And of course, then you ask, what do we do with the staff? Honestly, the staff is not given much of a work. But the problem is it her fault? When you organize this DTA, did you make use of her? You should make use of her. You should have invited her to come and sit in to all your organizing committee, help you in all that. This has been extended to all the governors and telling the governors, please make use of the staff. But if everybody doesn't want to do it, there's nothing we can do about it, okay? So that's one part. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying that we are now in the starting block. So there's a lot of things which are not in order, okay? So then the other thing you're talking about is the staff only involved in the induction kit and this and that. Come on, that you don't need the staff full-time to do. Of course, that's part of the things that the staff does. Huh? So the staff is supposed to do a lot of other things, but it all depends on the clubs and the district getting her to do it. Nobody can get her to do it because if you don't give her work, there's nothing she can do, okay? So I think these are things, and I think as the new governors comes in, we will have to have meetings again, and then we have to see how we can make use of this and move forward. But importantly, we must remember is that we have to do this because you can't move the district forward without a proper, what they call a district portal that can contain all the information. And this, I think Karthi was in the thick and thin of launching this, creating this district portal. So I think he can provide you some information. But definitely we would have to provide more information on this. And we hope that one day we will even have, I won't say one day, we would have to have a session at the next district meeting on the portal and the functions. So if you said the portal and the functions, some of the members in the portal will say, it has been told to all the presidents. But did the president tell all his club members? I don't think so. So that's where the lack of communication, because all this has been told, what the portal does.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, PDG Polly, for that explanation.
Yeah.
I think that was excellent, and I think it gave us a lot more clarity. And I think one of the things we can take away is that we haven't been including the staff enough for us to realize the real value of what she's bringing back. All right. So moving on, ladies and gentlemen, to the third question, which I think is going to be a bit more controversial and why I selected it. All right. So I don't know who this is from once again, but it's a very interesting, it was more of a topic that was sent to me. That's why I decided to bring it up. So apparently there is this Rotarian who was actually elected or nominated to become an assistant governor. But due to certain rumors that had spread verbally, the post was taken away from him, right? So it was taken away. His AG-ship was taken away. He was supposed to become an AG. Now I'm wondering, as an organization such as Rotary, with all the four-way tests and ethics and code of principles and all this, why would something so subjective affect someone's nomination to a district position? Is this something that has happened before? Do we know, is this something frequently happening? Because I believe this is the type of thing that can ruin an organization. Mahad, your thoughts first. I want to ask everybody's thoughts on this, so I'm going to call on each of you to just give your views.
No, I think because you said there was a rumor and all that, but I think that leader should go and find out more. Because if I were to select someone or nominate someone and I want this person to be part of my team, I would actually go and find out, is this for real? I'll go to the person and also listen to their side of the story and all that. So, but I think, I don't know, the question, I would like to, know the question, understand it better, but this is what I think do.
Warren?
Well, I think from the question, it's very interesting how we all say that we want to evolve, we want to become better. Rotary needs to move on to a better platform. The question is, what is better? Are you really willing to? And it is very important, Ashwin, I think we all understand, it is important that when you have got this type of situation happening, this type of things happening, what's next is the question, or who's next? We need to have a clear understanding as to how do you justify right or wrong, or do you really listen to just one party and then make your decision in accordance to just
Absolutely.
because you have got the authority. So a lot of things that you can
Because this comes again to the question of subjectivity versus objectivity,
you
right?
are absolutely right.
Karthi, I want your opinion from the view of someone who had to select his training team. Would something like this have impacted the decision you had made prior?
Okay. I think district appointments, I say this also because I'm driven by some old school thoughts, right? The district appointments is, of course, the prerogative of the governor. The appointment is the prerogative of the governor. While I say that, I also must be motivated by this idea of being progressive. When incoming governor appointed me to lead the training team, and one of my closest advisors, of course, in Rotary has been my person I shared with is Siti, right? And a lot of you all know this. And Siti and I got involved in the training team, 16, 17 years ago. So we were like the second batch of training members of the training team. And one of the things I said, Siti, and the three of us who are in that so-called age bracket, Siva, Siti and I And I said, Siti, so who are the next group of trainers? And this is 16 years ago when we got involved, right? Now, after 16 years, I still don't see the second batch of people, right? And that was my motivation in finding a new group of people who can be future training leaders. And all that I've been exposed to in Rotary is based on gut. What do we train based on gut? And I thought, that's not how you should be motivated. My team must consist of training professionals. We tell each other that we are a group of professionals, that each one of us represent a profession, a classification, blah, blah, and all those things. So I must be motivated in appointing professionals in the industry, right? So all three gentlemen here who sit here are trainers in their own profession, who train thousands of people in multinationals. So I was driven by that. And if you look at most other training committees prior to this, has been maybe 90% past governors and 10% workers who do the real work, and the past governors get named, right? Or certain people get named. But of course, you all know that me saying all this will result in no sane governor appointing me as district trainer again. But anyway, more importantly is I'm driven by, and of course I shared the team in Bindi. Bindi says, fine. What did they do? Trainer. So they fine, good. So I had a governor who understood what I wanted to do, who said, it's your call. If they do this, this, and this, and that's fine. But I think we cannot on one hand talk about, yes, it is a prerogative of the governor, but we keep talking about being progressive. We keep talking about change. If we keep talking about this, then it must be reflective in the manner in which you appoint people.
If I can offer a young man's point of view to one statement that you said, that every district appointment is at the discretion of the governor, would that be equivalent to every hiring in a company approving by the CEO? I mean, it sounds like that from my perspective, but once again, giving my young point of view. But I think, yeah, fair point.
Have I given you your appointment letter as a district team member?
I got a badge.
Oh, you got the badge. Yeah.
All right, interesting points of views, definitely from people who have heard the topic and from someone who has been in charge of appointing his team. So moving on to the last question, and I think once again, we're drawing on a bit of controversial lines here. So this is going to be very interesting for everyone. The question was sent rather crudely, but that's how I'm going to read it out so everyone knows how exactly it sounds. Why do we have substandard AGs who at times even fail to guide themselves, yet they're given the task of guiding presidents? What is the criteria to become an AG?
Oops.
So I read it exactly as it is so that we know that this is let's not sweep it under the carpet once again. But I think this person was coming from an area of frustration in thinking that the assistant governor himself may not be someone qualified, yet they've been entrusted to guide presidents. Now, it may have been, from my personal point of view, maybe the district governor knew the AG. They go for teh tarik's, or in our terms, whiskeys together, and they said, why don't you just become my AG? Or maybe they're in the same club and said, well, you've been here long enough. I'm a district governor now. Why don't you just become an AG? So any points of view? Once again, ladies, gentlemen up here, I want to get all your views on it. Well, he's a past assistant governor, so I'm going to go to Karthi. Waran, maybe from you first. Okay. Your views on this.
Well, I don't know how much of a detail for the question that you just posted. But very important is this: being an AG is very important, right? Let's talk about communication. I remember our district trainer was talking about how AGs were calling him live is what time, online is what time. If it is online, then dinner is what time. How are you going to do dinner online?
Yeah, the reason why Waran is saying that is, remember I spoke earlier about a senior Rotarian asked me this. It was from an AG. So,
So that's two ways to look at it. One is, how can AGs be asking this type of questions? Now, this is already very wrong. Yeah, so it is not informed already, Mahad. It was informed multiple times in many platforms. Emails were sent, WhatsApps were sent, plenty of ways. They were even called in many ways, just to inform that this is how it works. And we have explained in detail what does online means, what the live means, and it's all there. Yet you have got these questions means two things. One is they can't be bothered as to what you send. It's like, okay, just another message. Priorities. If you're an AG, we all speak about this, if I may. Volunteerism, we are all volunteers. Volunteers, yes. But if you are given a portfolio, do it. Or else just tell them, you know what? Sorry, I can't. But if you want to be there, you like the light, spotlight, and yet you don't want to do it, then I don't think it's right. That's one. Second thing is, we ourselves, Karthi, I don't know, maybe we need to re-look at ourselves as to, are we doing the right thing? Is our communication mode right? Are we communicating it properly? What can we do? What else can we do to make it right? So two ways to it. That's my thought.
Definitely. I think it's very important because as we kept pushing this message, that the AGs are essentially the connection between the district governor and all the presidents involved. So the only way we're going to achieve the goals is if the AGs work as a unit together with the governor and all the presidents under their view as well. Mahad, from your side? What do you
Ash,
think?
I think it's about being a professional end of the day, not just AG, president. Because, we all are professionals, but sometimes I feel we leave our professionalism at the office, and then when we join Rotary, it's just, you just come to meetings and then there's no agenda and then there's no this. This information was shared a lot of times. Now, people forget, that's fine. But as an AG, as a leader, you need to be proactive to find out, why do you want to wait a day before DTA or PST and then find out that night? So I think it's about just being proactive, just finding out the information. Even if you missed it, just go and be proactive and find out. Don't just, wait until last minute.
Thanks. And final view, Karthi.
Abang Karthi.
He has to laugh first to
yeah,
subdue his
yeah.
thoughts that he actually wants to say.
I mean, I was a assistant governor 14 years ago, lah. But it was so easy being an assistant governor then. I just went for meetings, drank whiskey with the guys, and I was everyone's friend, and it was so easy. And now you realize that it's a lot of work being an AG. If you're not going to give that, don't accept the position. Trust me, it is at least 100 times more harder being an AG now than when I was an AG. So it is. It's a huge responsibility. So if you're not capable or don't want to, then do not accept the position of an AG. You are representing the governor. You're not the deputy governor, but you're the assistant to the governor. You hold a huge responsibility. If that's not up your street, don't accept it. Because a lot of calls, I'm just going to use the DD as an example. And the last 4 or 5 days, when people call and ask me the simplest of things, I ask them, who's your AG? And even before they tell me, I can actually already know who's the AG.
But I think it's a very important point because my club, I think we've been fortunate enough to have very good AGs. I consider myself a very new
Is
Rotarian.
Ajit your AG? Well, Ajit is my AG and he does an excellent job.
Yeah,
But,
no,
yeah.
definitely throughout the years. Yep, congrats to that. But I think one of the most important things my assistant governor did for me when I was president my year was answer even the smallest questions. Like it meant something, right? Because that was really what gave me the confidence of why we need AGs. Wherever I could not find information, they were my go-to person. So if you're not willing to be that person for a club, is it even worth taking up that position?
No, I think the real messaging of at least this question is a message to our district leaders. Think before you appoint the assistant governor. It's an important position because you are actually doing a disfavor to the presidents when you do not appoint the right person. Because the presidents depend on an AG.
Yeah.
At least in my club, I know my president is dependent on Ajit for everything. Ajit is his hero, right? But that's the role that you need to have, right? The president can know that. Because if you come to my club, Central Damansara, and you've got Siti and me down there, we are giving him hell, right? But he knows, to hell with you all, I got Ajit behind me. And that's important.
Yeah.
That's important. So Irenas is very, very comfortable with himself because Ajit is behind him. And that's the role of an AG.
Did you guys have that same experience with your AGs when you were president?
Well, yeah, because see, in my experience, there are two types of AGs. There are AGs that have the knowledge. Really, they've got amazing knowledge, Rotary knowledge. But sometimes the people skills and, is really not there. So they're not going to come and drink with you and have coffee with you and visit you a lot of times. But you call them, they just click, they answer. No. But then when you meet them, you feel a little bit like they're a bit off, a bit distant, you know. So, but then you have those that, of course, that come and meet you. But at the end of the day, it's about being approachable, being, you know, like your presidents should feel that, look, I can approach my AG anytime and call. But the question is, again, more of, if this person can't help themselves, how do you expect them, or lead themselves? How do you expect them to lead others? So I think we should be able to lead ourselves and, you know, find information and demystify information sometimes. You know, a lot of times we just share the same information, and some stuff could be a bit complex. So as leaders, we need to demystify this information and then pass it to the clubs. That's my view.
Warren, how was your experience?
Yeah, so same thing, yeah. There were sometimes AGs, when you ask them, fingertips, they know stuff like that. Some of them, I don't know, let me check, but they won't come back. That is so norm. But again, AG is something very exclusive, you know. See, like for instance, we have got our handsome guy there. He's the MC for the day.
Yep.
He's also the AG. Now, it's very important. You must take multiple roles so that you can be there. Or else, it defeats the purpose. You cannot be just AG sitting down
Because,
there.
you know, just talking about Kamaro, right? Kamaro is the current AG, right? Last 3 weeks or a month ago, we had our pre-pets. Kamaro was carrying stools for us. He was a stool carrier.
Yeah.
Right? See how a stool carrier can now become an MC.
Yeah. And it is important, yeah.
And an AG.
Yeah, so carrying stools, you know, that means the stool, you know, that means it's very important. Samantha is over here also. She's like running around headless chicken, but she's an AG, Karen, but she's doing everything. So what I'm trying to say is this: what are you passionate about in learning Rotary? Rotary is a
sorry, is Kumar here? Is ATK here?
Oh yeah,
ATK,
yeah.
Where is he? Okay. You know, Kumar comes for district function and he acts as a photographer. Yeah. He thinks he does the best photographs around. So he's going around taking photograph, right? And he's a current AG too, right? And people who don't know Kumar thinks he's just a junior Rotarian line. So he's carrying the tables, he's changing. And I think it's about that, right? It's about as high as you go in your district leadership, it is as important to carry the chair, take that photograph. And when Kumar was helping us out with the masterclass or the pre-pets, how was scolding him, right? But he did his job. But it is that, right? So district leaders need to understand, and it's very, very important. What's the similarity within all of us here? Rotarians. Yes, but we are peers.
Yeah,
Yes.
Lovely.
True.
I am as equal as City, is Dato Laksh, Dato Jimmy. We are peers. Once we accept each other as peers, most things will fall in place now.
Yeah, that's a good mindset to have.
And ATK has improved his photography, his photo shoots and all that.
He does
videos
but
also.
yeah, but he's not here, so we can tell him that his photograph really sucks. But you know, so you make him believe that he thinks he's doing some great photography, So
You know, Ash, I've got some calls coming. Came in just in the morning. Like 2-3 AGs calling. They went to this Raman session that they had like 5 days ago. What was it? Putra.
Raman.
The event that just happened, and then everybody was tested positive and what.
oh, the Chatana Rotary Club.
Correct. So they were there, and then now they are doing swab tests. Why? Because they want to be here, but they cannot be here because the results are not out yet. So they were like, "Hey, I'm going to miss this. How? Can I come?" I said, "Of course you cannot come." But the eagerness is important.
Yes. I think the attitude and the mindset, right? That's the main thing there. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our session for Let's Not Sweep It Under the Carpet. We really just wanted to create this platform for Rotarians to bring out issues that they may not have been comfortable asking people about, they may not have been comfortable talking about, but it's issues that have been on their mind and, could be potentially derailing for Rotarians, right? And for Rotary as an organization overall. So this is why we decided to do something a bit different, bring 4 points of views, very different perspectives, very different clubs, and very different experiences that we've all had, and hopefully I mean, we only had time to do 4 questions today, but there were very interesting questions that came in. Hopefully, with further events, we'll try and do this more and bring out more questions. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is us from the training team. We did not bring on Raj because his views will need an entire DTA by itself. But ladies and gentlemen, this is us from the training team. Thank you very much. And I think lunch is next. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We could walk out the door without masks to disco now, that We could go holiday to Bali, Magdalena, that Suffering, kebalam singkat, quarantine, so boring, what to do now? Hard to say, when it go away, everybody pray, night and day, banyak susah. We could shake our hands, give a hug to our friends, now tak boleh. We just want life to be free, it's all we're thinking of. When you are with a crowd, don't be talking out loud, you must softly say, excuse me, can't you see you're just too close to me, 1 meter boleh. You're just too close to me.